It is my privilege now to introduce Georgia College alumna and tonight's keynote speaker, Ms. Holly Witcher, an educator whose career reflects both extraordinary dedication and a deep belief in the potential of every student. But first, graduates, I've got a question for you. As you sit here this evening, has it crossed your mind that the person maybe sitting to your right or left might be back here 20 years or so from now, serving as the commencement speaker for Georgia College? Well, one of our alumni is having that kind of moment tonight. You see, last night, I happened to come across on Facebook a message posted by the Georgia College classmate of Holly Witcher. It said, and I quote, "You guys, if there ever was a full circle moment and I knew her when moment, this is now. My college roommate, the girl I laughed and cried with, ate Chick-fil-A with, served with in campus ministry, watched endless hours of ER and You've Got Mail with, devised silly pranks with, the list goes on and on. This girl is giving the commencement speech to the College of Education at our alma mater. I could not be more proud, and I'm so glad that the live stream exists so I can see her from afar." So yes, this is for you, Teresa Forsberg Wilbur, who is watching our live stream tonight from Illinois. And thank you. We too are proud of Holly Witcher. And I am proud to introduce your roommate and our Georgia College alumna, an accomplished educator who has spent more than 2 decades since graduation doing some of the most challenging work in education. As a special education teacher at Tesnity Gap Elementary School in Cleveland, Georgia, Ms. Witcher serves students with significant development delays, helping them build the communication and life skills they need not only to succeed in school, but to thrive in life. Her self-contained classroom is more than a place of instruction. It is a place where students find their voices, often in ways that are transformative for them and their families. That work has not gone unnoticed. In 2025, Ms. Witcher was named Georgia Teacher of the Year, one of the highest honors an educator in our state can receive. In that role, she became a statewide ambassador for public education, traveling, speaking, and advocating on behalf of students and teachers. What distinguishes Ms. Witcher is not only her expertise, but her creativity and commitment to meeting students where they are. She has built a language-rich learning environment that prioritizes communication in all its forms, helping students express their needs, their ideas, and their individuality. And she extends learning far beyond the classroom walls, partnering with local businesses to create monthly, community-based instruction and experiences that allow her students to practice real-world skills and build meaningful connections in their communities. Her students' successes are not always measured in traditional ways, but in breakthroughs that are just as profound. A first word, a new skill, or a moment of connection. Before her current role, Ms. Witcher spent a decade with Georgia Cyber Academy, where she served as both a lead teacher and an elementary school assistant administrator of special programming, bringing innovation and leadership to virtual learning environments long before they became commonplace. And we are especially proud to call her one of our own. She earned her bachelor's degree in early childhood education here in 2001, and later went on to earn her master's degree in integrated curriculum from the American College of Education. A true lifelong learner, she has also earned numerous endorsements to meet the needs of the students she serves. Those who know Ms. Witcher often speak of her patience and her creativity. Her unwavering belief that every child deserves to be seen, heard, and valued is embedded in her consistent message that you matter. Graduates, as you prepare to enter the field of education or advance in your field, you will face both great challenges and great opportunities. In Ms. Witcher, you see a model of what it means to teach with purpose, to lead with heart, and to make a lasting difference, one student at a time. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Holly Witcher to the podium, and following her remarks, Dr. Joanne Previtz, Interim Dean of our College of Education, will introduce our student speaker. Please welcome Ms. Holly Witcher.
Thank you, President Cox, Provost, Deans, and members of the faculty. To the families and friends who supported these students, and most importantly, to the class of 2026, you did it. It is an absolute honor to be here to celebrate this incredible achievement with you today. Almost 25 years ago to the day, I sat right where you are. And if you told me then that I'd be standing here now as a voice for special education, I would have called you crazy. But this profession rarely follows the script that we write. We walk into our first year thinking that we're headed to Neverland, and then the challenges hit. So it's easy to spend our careers searching for a magic. We see the miracle workers in our buildings, you know the ones I'm talking about, those chaos whisperers who can walk into a room full of screaming kindergartners, and just by humming, they turn a riot into a reading circle. Or the teacher who sees a student retreat into his hoodie like a turtle in a shell, so he drops a sticky note on his desk that says, "I saw your sketch. You have an architect's eye." And just like that, he's become an architect of identity. I used to think that those teachers were born with a bottle of magic that I just didn't get. But after 25 years, I have learned that what looks like magic is actually just the result of a lot of really hard, really intense work. So today, from our newest teachers to our doctors of education, I want to share with you 5 ways that you can shift your thinking to create a perfect alchemy for your classrooms. These are the tools that will help you bridge from the scary, the 2 a.m. anxiety, and the paperwork to finding something truly beautiful. So first, if you want to bridge from the scary to the beautiful, you have to be willing to shift your perspective. You have to start your day looking for the red boots. I had a student one year who was diagnosed with an emotional learning disability, and on the mornings that he walked into my classroom wearing red cowboy boots, I knew we were going to be in for a day. Because that meant to me that he'd won the battle at home, that his mama hadn't been able to get him to wear the tennis shoes she wanted him to wear. So those boots said to me, "I've been fighting all morning and I ain't done yet." Those boots were my scary. Those days were a whirlwind. In one moment, he would be throwing papers and telling me what a horrible human being I was. And then 3 minutes later, he'd be curled up in my lap, crying and apologizing. This is one of the challenges of our profession, the perspective to see that the scary outburst isn't an attack on you. It's a cry for a safe haven. My friend Deborah Stringfellow is an Alabama Teacher of the Year, and she says that in education, the highs and lows come fast and furious, and often at the same time. She calls it exhausting and beautiful and sacred work, and she is right. It's exhausting to stand in the middle of a storm, but it is sacred to be the person that child crawls to when the storm is past. So when you change your perspective, you turn an emotional outburst into a beautiful moment of connection. So look for those red cowboy boots. Know that they're coming, but be ready to provide them with a safe space. If you want to bridge from the scary to the beautiful, the second shift is realizing that you cannot cross that bridge alone. You have to find your Jaina. In 2006, I hit a wall. I was 5 years into the career that I had dreamed of since I was a little girl, and I was ready to walk away. I had done everything right. I had all the certifications, I had the faith and trust that Peter Pan talks about, but I was bitter, I was anxious, and I felt like a cog in a machine rather than a professional. So I walked into the office of my assistant principal, Jaina O'Kelly, and I told her I thought I was done. I couldn't see the beautiful anymore. I could only hear the white noise around me. Now, this is the value in having a great mentor. When you are in a disaster season, and they will come, you need to borrow the vision of someone else until you can find your own again. So Jaina looked me in the eye that day and she said, "Holly, you matter. Forget the programs, forget the curriculum. You as an individual matter, and we need you here." She reminded me that I was the heartbeat in that classroom. Even Georgia Teachers of the Year can come to a point where you just want to throw in the towel. But when the white noise of the system gets too loud, find your Jaina. Find that person who will remind you of why you're in this job when you can't remember it anymore, because that is how you survive the scary long enough to find the beautiful. If you want to bridge from the scary to the beautiful, you also have to be willing to embrace the unmagical parts. It's a shift from seeking miracles to laying bricks, the persistent, messy work of turning a scream into a breakthrough. 2 years ago, I had a student in my classroom who didn't just cry when he got overstimulated. He screamed. It was the high-pitched wail that would make the hair on the back of your neck stand up straight. That sound was scary. It was the kind of sound that would make you drop your pen and think, "I'm not enough for this." But the reality of teaching is not in the waving of a magic wand. It's a slow, intentional process. It's the unmagical work of modeling the phrase, "help, please," over and over until your voice goes hoarse. It's the months spent collecting data to find that student's triggers. By December of that year, that same student was able to sit through a full school assembly, calm and engaged. A colleague walked up to me after it and she said, "You are a miracle worker." And I realized then that miracle is just the word that people use when they haven't seen the months of hard work that you spent building that bridge. So don't be afraid of the scary sounds that will come in your classroom or the scary students that are on your roster, because those beautiful breakthroughs are built one unmagical brick at a time. If you want to bridge from the scary to the beautiful, the fourth shift requires you to find the bravery to change your scenery, not your career. We can't be so laser focused on what we thought we wanted that we miss out on what we were made to do. You worked so hard for these degrees. Don't let them become a cage. Your degree is a launching pad. In 2006, I didn't need to leave teaching. I just needed to move down the hallway. Now, I was terrified to move into special education because there was so much that I didn't know. But because I was willing to be uncomfortable and trust the vision of my principals, I found a version of beautiful that I never imagined. That leap led to some of the greatest honors of my life and some deep connections with families that I still call my own. I certainly wouldn't be standing here today as a Georgia Teacher of the Year if I had not taken that first brave step into a different classroom. Every 5 years or so, you're going to want to quit and become a professional dog walker. And when it happens, just remember you have options. Don't let a 30-year legacy disappear just because you're standing in the wrong room. Step out of your comfort zone, change your scenery, and you might just find yourself standing on a stage that you never dared to dream about. If you want a bridge from the scary to the beautiful, the final shift is the most personal one. You have to embrace your own authenticity. Don't try to replicate someone else's magic. We look at the Instagram perfect classrooms with the color-coordinated bins and the hand-lettered whiteboards, but let me let you in on a secret. If I tried to maintain an Instagram-worthy classroom, I would be miserable because I am just not wired that way. My beautiful looks a lot messier than that, and that's okay. The scary part of this career is the temptation to believe that you are just a first-year teacher or just a special education teacher. So you have to fit into someone else's mold in order to be effective. But real change happens when you stop trying to be the teacher you think you should be and you start being exactly who God made you to be. Every one of you sitting here has a unique skill set. You have a story, a struggle, and a personality that was crafted for a specific child who's going to walk into your classroom next year. They don't need an Insta teacher. They need you. Your unique humor, your specific patience, and your own messy heart is the answer to a prayer that a parent hasn't even prayed yet. Don't spend 30 years trying to find the magic in someone else's bottle. Just look in the mirror, because the bridge from scary to beautiful begins and ends with you. I've shared with you 5 critical ingredients for a classroom. We've got perspective, mentorship, persistence, bravery, and authenticity. But why does this alchemy matter? It matters because of the math. Look around this room. There are 296 of you graduating here today. If each of you commits to this work for the next 30 years, the number of lives touched by the people in this room right now is over 222,000 students. That's not just statistics. That is the entire population of a city. It's an entire generation of children who will grow up to be kinder, braver, and more capable because you decided to stand in the gap. I want to do one last unconventional thing right now. And I want everyone in here to close your eyes. And I want you to think right now about a teacher who had the greatest impact on you. Think about how that person made you feel. And think about how the person you are today was shaped by their hands. Now open your eyes. And on the count of 3, I want you to speak that teacher's name into this room right here. 1, 2, 3. Peggy Purcell. Can you imagine your life without that teacher? I know I cannot. And that is what I'm here to share with you today. One day, a student will be sitting in a chair much like this one with their eyes closed, and they are going to say your name. They won't remember your Instagram reel or your lesson plans, but they will remember when they were in the middle of their scary and you helped them find the beautiful. You are the heartbeat of our schools. You're the architects of identity. You matter. Your degree from Georgia College and State University has prepared you. Class of 2026, congratulations on this incredible achievement. Now, go find the beautiful.